Welcome to the Safe Life family. We're the Safety Guys. I'm Landon.
And I'm Kevin.
And we're excited you're joining us on the journey from Safety 101 to Safety Experts. Welcome back. We're excited to talk a little bit more about teenagers today.
Love teenagers.
Absolutely.
They're so unpredictable.
And such good attitudes and smart, wise, great things. So teenagers who are listening, you guys rock. Absolutely. Our principle is somewhat in connection to what we talked about last episode with how questions matter. And the principle we want to talk today is called what we like to call the family pop quiz. It's a way that you can ask questions in a safe environment while also allowing your family to participate, right? Your children of all ages to be involved and engaged in that conversation.
Yeah, it's awesome. And if you can get the kids used to this again, and then teenagers, this is one of the funnest things ever. And how it works is before an event, they're going to ask you to go to whatever it is. Before that event, there has to be a family pop quiz. And how it's presented is hopefully you'll get it to where the teenager, or even you can do this on an older child, they get to ask questions of what if something happens in this event? And you let them just ask you pretend to be the teenager. They get to be the adult for a little bit. And most of the time this happens, they're just excited to say, well, okay, Dad, okay, Mom, what if this happens at the party tonight? And you'll give them really good input because they're thinking of the questions, and that means an awful lot when things do go down. But then also save the last question or last few questions for you to ask them that they may not have covered that you're concerned about.
Absolutely. And you think of the benefit that has, right? A pop quiz question. What happens if your friend starts driving too fast? Pop quiz question. What are you going to do if, let's say, your car stops working? So many different questions. And of course, my mind blanks 2 questions in. What are some other good ones?
You want to do this just to show them by example?
Let's see.
You want to be the son or the dad?
Let's just ask each other questions.
Oh, come on, you're getting chicken here. You haven't had much practice because your kids are young right now. Okay, what do you want to do? A camping trip that they want to go with the thing? Yeah. Okay, something simple. I'm going to be the teenager. Or do you want to be the teenager?
What are some of the questions?
Okay. What happens if you get, you're there for 2 days and it rains constantly?
Great question. Another camping one. What happens if your cell phone stops working and there's an emergency?
Good job on that one. What happens if a bear comes into camp?
What happens if you forget to pack something?
Okay. How about you don't pack any toilet paper? What do you use? You want to get serious?
Well, that one may be the teenager question, but huge emergency situation. What happens if you run out of gas?
Okay. What if your friend wants to do something like jump on off a cliff into the river?
Great question. That never happens with teenagers, does it? Teenagers. Great. What's another? Maybe they're going to a friend's house. Okay. What are some pop quiz questions we can ask about that?
It's like a party?
Yeah.
And they're teenagers?
Yep.
Okay. One right off the bat is when you get there, you weren't expecting it, but all of a sudden you walk in and they're having all kinds of alcohol party games. Matter of fact, can I just share a quick fun story on this one? Family did this, and the young man had been quizzed several times on parties on the same question. And he came up with the idea on his own that he says, well, I just invite everybody that wants to go get some food before they come back to the party, that he would pay for pizza. And so as soon as he said it, he says, hey, well, this party, because he didn't want to offend the party people, they were friends and peer pressure and everything. He says, anybody want to come with me? I'm going to run and get some pizza and we'll be right back. But anybody want to go with me? I'll buy the pizza. Well, there was about 5 out of about 25 that said, sure, we'd love to go. Well, when they got out of the party, all of his friends thanked him for just giving him a way out. So he became a very popular kid with those five because they just said, we're not going to go back to the party. But they still went to the pizza place. They had their own little party. And by the time they had all their fun, good, clean fun, the party was over. The bad party was over.
All because of pop quiz.
Pop quiz, exactly.
Okay. Going back to that, it helps develop that decision-making part of our brains. When you think through a situation, how would I react in that? What would I do? And maybe the answers you get when you first start the pop quiz are not maybe top tier, great caliber answers to questions. That one's a genius one. My response would not have been as intelligent, but great quiz question.
What if you see somebody stealing something at your best friend's party? One of the kids put something in their pocket. And
Great quiz question. What happens if you see somebody putting in something in someone else's drink?
oh, good one. Good
That
one.
might be a tougher one.
Yeah. I mean, you can see where we're going with this and how important it is and it can be, I'm going over to play video games with my best friend. It's just going to be him and I. So you as the guardian, the parent, you say, well, okay, between Monday and Friday, family pop quiz, and hopefully this becomes a pattern, a little bit like we've been talking about with other family things. It's just so simple, and it actually becomes a very fun event, and it makes them wise. And you get a wise teenager that's ready to prepare for these situations that they're going, how do I get out of this? It's really incredible to see, and fun stories to tell later.
And maybe a sidebar is a side benefit from that is if you know somebody who may have some test anxiety, regularly good, wholesome pop quizzes, or even calling pop quizzes. Okay, that's a silly side benefit, but we'll count it. Those examples or doing those things in a family pop quiz, no matter what the situation is. One of your kid comes to you and says, "Hey, I got a trip planned to go here. This happened at school. I want to do this. Can we do that?" Maybe you can even shake it up a little bit and say, "Hey, pop quiz as you're on your way to school." That one might get you an eye roll, but at the same time, I know that all of our children want to be loved, accepted, and recognized. And that's a great way to regularly phrase it as, because I love you, we're always going to think of pop quiz situations.
I'd like to just add, and we're going to talk a little bit more on it on a different podcast, but when and I don't call it dates now, but I'm old fashioned, but say your kids are going on dates. This is pretty, I think, critical to have a pop quiz before dates, especially for the young women, to give them some confidence and courage to stop things before things can get out of control on a date with some young man that would want to take advantage. And the pop quizzes are huge for that.
There's no better way to prepare for those situations than sometimes maybe having a tough pop quiz question, but get them thinking. It's definitely going to help them have a safer life.
Family pop quiz. They're awesome.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming today. Let's have a safe week.
See ya.
If you feel like we helped guide you in your journey to a safer life or home,
or if you just think we're awesome,
please follow us for more. After all, who doesn't like a thumbs up or a subscribe?
Now, for those that stayed after, we're going to have Landon give the family word of wisdom here.
Safety guy minutes falls to me this week. Something that has been a huge benefit for me is when something good happens, write it down, and it's okay to tell people. A lot of the time when it comes to your career or your job or your family, we don't have enough recognition. There's not enough good things that happen that people are able to celebrate. So when you have something good happen, write it down, tell somebody, celebrate with each other.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great week.
See ya.